We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 15. Yamhina vyatanti ete purusham purusharshabaha samadukha sukham dhiram so amrit tatvaya kalpate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So Krishna first he told Arjuna that you're not the body, you're the soul. Each and every living entity is not the body. Everyone is a soul, and so don't lament for the body. Krishna says don't lament for the body. So does it mean that we become hard-hearted if our loved ones leave their body, we shouldn't cry artificially? No, we still have emotions. We will still cry, we will still lament, we will still feel the emotions, but we will understand that, oh yes, this person is going to continue to exist. It's not that he's finished, it's just that it was his time, was only a limited time in this body, and now it was time for him to go to perform his activities in another body. And of course, if he is eligible for going back home to the spiritual world, then he's gone back to Krishna. So at least it gives us that understanding. We are not totally bewildered. It's not that we artificially stop our emotions. No, devotional life doesn't mean that we stop our emotions. No, we just purify our emotions, try to understand, place them correctly. So if we are lamenting, we lament, we feel the loss of somebody, but we know we have that knowledge to back us. Then in the next verse, Krishna says, tolerate happiness and distress, because they will keep coming as winter and summer season. So if our mind is always wanting happiness, rejecting the unhappiness, then our whole energy will go in this, our whole full material life, this whole human life, we are just going to be involved. Okay, let me do this will make me happy, let me not do this because this is going to make me sad. So then when will we have time to understand about the self? When will we have time to understand about the truth? So he says, okay, tolerate, depend, it will come. Happiness and distress will come. Just tolerate it. Try to understand the higher truth. And then now he's saying a person who's not disturbed by happiness and distress. You see, because our mind, if we see, it's always jumping to creating a situation which we think is going to make us happy. We always try to create a very perfect situation in our mind. And that perfect situation we think is going to make us happy. Sometimes it might happen, sometimes it might not happen, but we are always trying to do that. And the mind is always, if the circumstance right now, what I'm going through is not pleasing to me, if it's a suffering position to me, then we want to reject it. We don't want that situation. Our mind again will go back to the past. Oh, before I used to be happy, why I did like this, why did I do like that? Oh, before I was happier. So then the mind is always like a football, putting us in the past and in the future. But Krishna says one who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate the onslaughts of distress and happiness is certainly a person eligible for liberation. In the one, because then he has understood the true position. He's understood himself. He's understood the nature of happiness. He's understood the nature of distress. So he's understood the truth. So that's the reason he is eligible for liberation. In the Varnashrama institution, the fourth stage of life, namely the renounced order, sannyas, is a painstaking situation, but one who is serious about making his life perfect, surely adopts the sannyas order of life in spite of all difficulties. So this is the renounced order where usually people in the last stages of life, they take up, the men, they will take sannyas. But sannyas is not supposed to be taken so that people are gonna worship me, I will become famous, that I've taken sannyas, I've renounced the world. Let's see how great I am. No, sannyas is taken because then the person takes a vow that with his body, mind, and words, he's going to just please Krishna, serve Krishna. And it's not easy. It's difficult. It's difficult to cut all the relationships, loving relationships, and just fully dedicate the life to Krishna. So the difficulty usually arises from having to sever family relationships to give up the connection of wife and children. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. Similarly, in Arjuna's discharge of duties as a Kshatriya, he is advised to persevere, even if it is difficult to fight with his family members or similarly beloved persons. So a sannyasi, he needs to tolerate that, or he will feel separation from wife and children, and that's his duty. Then here, what is Arjuna's duty? It's not that he has to give up his wife and children. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, so his duty is that he needs to fight. It is painful for him to fight against his family, but he still needs to fight. And that's his duty, that's his perfection. So Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at the age of 24, and his dependents, young wife, as well as old mother, had no one else to look after them. Yet, for a higher cause, he took sannyas and was steady in the discharge of higher duties. That is the way of achieving liberation from material bondage. So even if we are this serious about getting liberation from this material world, we should take up the process of devotional service very seriously, with effort. It's not easy to chant the rounds, to hear every day, to follow the 4 regulative principles. It's not easy because the mind wants to do so many different things. But if we persevere, no, this is good for me. Let me chant my rounds. Let me hear. Let me worship. This is good for me. This is going to take me out of the material world. Then, if we do that, then gradually, we will be also eligible for liberation. We do not have to artificially give up. We are not renunciates. We are not sannyasis. So we do not have to artificially give up our families. What Lord Chaitanya says, wherever you are, whoever you are, you be in that position, you just start chanting Hare Krishna. Hear from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And that's what we have to do. So many times we say, oh, we have our family duties, it's difficult. But somehow or the other, we should say, no, I need to do this. This is the way I can get out of this material world. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So any questions or comments?
No, all here.
Yeah, so we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for joining in. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.